So it came out in the last 24 hours or so that President Trump and his administration have paused all intel sharing with Ukraine. And not only just directly from US to Ukraine intel sharing, but they're telling all the members of the Five Eyes group, which is Canada, Britain, Australia, and New Zealand, if any of the intel comes from them and gets passed to the members of the Five Eyes, those members are not allowed to share it with Ukraine. So basically, a lot of they're just getting cut off. Like, they have no way to get any kind of real intel that they need to target Russian troop movements, precision missile strikes, basically anything that you need to use in a battle or a war. And we saw reports from one of the Ukrainian generals, I can't remember his name, a couple of days ago about, if the U.S. cut off military aid, how long could they last? Maybe 6 months. Well, Donald Trump cut off military aid to Ukraine Monday. Now, supposedly it's just a pause, but 2 days later, they're out of grenades. Like, there's a video going around online of the Ukrainians throwing a beehive at the Russians because they don't have grenades. They've already run out. My question is A, where is all the equipment going? Y'all can't be using stuff that fast. Like, somebody's getting rich somewhere selling off all this equipment and ammunition to the black market. And two, they're not going to last long. If they're already running out of military supplies, then it'll be a matter of weeks. Now, who knows if Trump's going to reverse course? Zelensky's pretty much already caved, saying he's willing to sign the mineral deal and, Trump's strong leadership and all this crazy stuff. Well, you should have signed it when you were in the room instead of showing out in front of the media. We'll see what happens. Macron is saying that the U.S. is abandoning Ukraine, and one of the advisors to Zelensky, or former advisor to Zelensky, saying that Trump needs to be brought up on treason charges for what he's doing to Ukraine, which is ridiculous. Ukraine was never part of NATO. It never had security guarantees from the U.S. We shouldn't have even been a part of this from day one. This is all on Biden. And now the Europeans are freaking out, but they can't even get their act together. They keep saying they're going to raise an army, create this huge slush fund of $800 billion to raise an army. Well, you can't just flip a switch and get an army. You've got to recruit. You've got to train. A good soldier takes at least a good year plus of training before they're battlefield ready. And that's just like an infantry soldier. That's not detailed, like training a pilot or something like that takes a long time. You have to set up factories, expand factories, source materials, set up the tooling to produce the stuff that you need. You have to find the fossil fuels to power these factories, which Europe doesn't have because of their green agenda. They cut off all the fossil fuels. They shut down all their nuclear reactors. Well, most of them did. I think France actually didn't. And actually, expanded, but they're one of the few. And Russia isn't sending gas much because y'all blew up both Nord Stream pipelines, and Ukraine decided to not let gas pass through the pipes from Russia to the EU. So how are y'all going to power this shit? Windmills and solar panels ain't going to work. Y'all are up the creek without a paddle, and y'all can't even get it together. France and Britain are saying that they're going to send troops and have a no-fly zone to enforce a ceasefire, but Poland, Germany, and Italy are like, no, we're not going to send troops to Ukraine. So they can't even agree on what's going to happen. Supposedly, Zelensky, Keir Starmer, and Emmanuel Macron are going to all three go to Washington, D.C. sometime soon to try to persuade Donald Trump. I don't see it happening. If they do persuade him somehow, they're going to have to give a lot of concessions. So we'll see what happens, but stuff's falling apart quickly, and honestly, I hate it for the Ukrainian people, but it needs to end, and if this is the way it needs to end, then so be it. I'll keep y'all posted about what happens. Peace.